Welcome to number and percentage formatting. Here we have values that are in the default format of general. We have 4 examples: custom, number, currency, and accounting. The best style will be indicated in light blue for values, totals, and percentages. The other 3 are not going to be ideal. Let's get started. Highlight custom, Control 1, custom again, scroll down near the bottom and select the last type in a group that contains 4 formatting elements as separated by a semicolon. This type here is also indicated in our notes up here. OK. Now as for the total, highlight, Control 1 again, custom, and select that last type again. This one here, this time let's add a dollar sign in front of the pound sign and with a space. And for the negative, in front of the pound sign and with a space. OK. As for the percentage, let's highlight the custom, Control 1 again, go back to custom, and we would select the last type again. And for percentages, we just need to replace that last 0 with a percentage sign, like so. OK to this. And we'll do the same thing for this percentage down here, going to that group that contains the 4 formatting elements separated by that semicolon, and replace that last 0 with a percentage sign. And OK. For custom, these 4 elements, the first one handles positive values, negative values, 0 values, and text. For the first line, item 1 text, it does have 1 left space in front of the word, comparing to the general format where number, currency, and text values are flushed up against the left border. For positive values, there is 1 right space at the end of this 9, comparing this 9 to the default is flushed up against the right border. Here we have 1 right space, which makes room for a negative values bracket. 0 values would be a dash rather than a 0. Now let's format our next 3 examples, starting with number, drop down, number, currency, currency, accounting, and select accounting. Let's bring in our notes. Highlight our number, Control 1 again, go back to custom, and that 0 is the format up here. Let's go to currency, highlight a value, Control 1, let's have a look at custom. There, this is the same as our notation here. Let's go to accounting, custom, and it does contain 4 elements as indicated in our notations. Escape. So number, for text, there is no left space comparing to custom. For positive values, there is no 1 right space as compared to custom. For negative values, it has a minus because there is no formatting for negative values. For 0, it's just 2 decimal spaces. For currency, it does add a dollar sign and a comma separator for positive and negative values, and for 0, it displays all zeros. Accounting formatting is as close as it comes to our custom, with the exception of a dollar sign flushed up against the left. It still does have 1 left space for text, it has 1 right space for positive values, and it has brackets for negative values, and a dash, just like our custom, with the exception of the dollar sign flushed up against the left. Now, for our custom totals with the dollar sign, we have dollar sign closer to the value. If the column is a little bit wider, here we have the dollar sign flushed up against the far left. But in our custom with the dollar sign, our dollar sign is closer to their values. Undo. For percentages, our positive values have one right space to make room for the bracket for negative values. Our zeros are consistent with our values with a dash. Text-wise, it still has that one left space. The default selection is a 2 decimal space. We brought it down to 1. They're all formatted exactly the same way, whereby it only has one element for positive. So if it's a negative, it defaults to just a minus sign. Now, this column here, we could, for numbers, we could highlight here, Control 1, go to number, and we could add a comma separator. We could use the brackets. That's okay, but there is no formatting for zeros. If I go to custom, and here, because we've added the separator and brackets for the negative values, but there isn't anything for formatting zeros. That's why it defaults to 0.00. Let's go to currency, highlight the range, currency, select the brackets. Same thing. The 0 does not turn into a dash. Let's have a look at how it looks. Custom. There we go. It does not have formatting for text nor zeros, but it does have formatting for negative values. The default here, if I were to choose this currency selection, it only has one formatting. For accounting, let's highlight this range, Control 1, and select accounting. It's already defaulted to 2 decimal spaces with a symbol of $sign. OK to this. This is the same formatting as the one before it, whether we choose the drop-down or we go into Format Cells, Accounting, and here, this type is exactly the same as our drop-down menu. So that means that this drop-down, the number and the currency is not ideal. Let's go to a report. This report uses our custom formatting. Now let's look at what it would look like if it was all numbers. Highlight the range, numbers, whole numbers. Our numbers don't have a comma separator. The negative values are not as visual as brackets, and the zero values are shown with a 0 rather than a dash. Even if we were to put in a comma separator with a bracket, but the zeros are still there, let's see what it would look like if we were to choose currency. Okay, $sign in every cell. The zeros are still indicated with a digit rather than a dash. Let's see what it would look like in accounting format. Okay, this report title already says net sales revenue, so it's a given that from January to December, with their totals and a range total, every cell is $1. So we get it. We don't need to have $signs in every cell. Let's make another example for January. Title is too wide for this column. Copy it for February as well. And autofit. For something internal, we're better off using the custom formatting. Delete this. Go back to autofit. And go back to our custom formatting by selecting this type. Control 1, custom. Select the last type. And whole numbers. Our totals are, we add a $sign where the $sign is closer to the values. And there we go. Even if we do have very wide columns, the $sign still stays closer together with the values. So, presentation counts standardized formatting using the same custom formatting for values, and then adding a $sign for totals and adding a percentage sign at the end for percentage. Our custom formatting meets these criteria: comma, separator, positive values, negative values with a bracket, zero values with a dash, text, and alignment where the decimals are lined up, and $sign. Percentages follow the same convention and formatting as our values. And there you have it. Check out other videos in our Standardize This series, share with your colleagues, and thanks for watching.